If you're shopping for a Porsche Macan, this video is going to be helpful because I'm going to point out some things that you should be looking for during your shopping process to check on the car to make sure you're actually getting a good spec. These are overall great cars, but some things could help you from big expenses in the future. So let's dive into it. Cold start. The first thing I want you to know about is the switch foot in the Porsche Macan. Now, everything looks fine here, and this is something you would easily overlook when shopping for one. Watch this. Hey, I want to put the front window up. Oh my God, the car's totaled. I just totaled my Macan. So most Macans have this issue. This switch foot is just garbage and it breaks over time. Now, to replace this, the part is only like 50 bucks, and that's for a really nice one. The problem is, to replace it, you have to pull this entire door panel off. That way you can detach this and then attach the electronic plugs that are underneath. I've seen a video where a guy actually didn't do that. He just popped it out from here, but I have a feeling you would end up scratching a lot of this doing it that way. So not a very expensive part to replace, but it's labor intensive to get it all off. So I would just warn you to check out these buttons when shopping for your Macan. Now, a lot of car shopping is done online, so it's hard to see exactly what options are on the car, especially in the used market. So I'm going to help you out here, and this is all specific to the Macan. So the first thing here, you see we have the Sport button. All Macans come with this. If a Sport Plus button is shown, that means it has the Sport Chrono package, which means you can put it into launch control, and it also gives you the Sport Chrono watch here. Kind of a cool feature. Additionally, this button here is the adaptive suspension. There's 3 different settings, so it's normal, sport, and then sport plus. This means the car has the air suspension on it, so you can actually put it in low mode. All of them come with this, traction control off. This is a rare option here. It's the sport exhaust. It's not that common, but you can definitely find them. I think this is worth it if you're an enthusiast into driving the car in sporty conditions, because it does give it a deeper sound. The other thing here is heated seats and cooled seats. The cooled seats work extremely nicely, especially in summer, kind of keeping your back sweat off. Nobody wants to smell you, right? So it helps you smell less. So those are some options there in the center console that you can look for when you're looking at pictures of Macans online. Now, a lot of people will say a Porsche Macan is just an Audi Q5 with a Porsche badge. They are based on the same chassis, but that's basically where it ends, because Porsche has done so much more to make the car driver focused. For example, all Porsche Macans, doesn't matter what wheel size you get, comes with a staggered wheel setup. So you have wider wheels in the back and thinner wheels in the front, meaning you can't rotate the tires evenly. This enhances the driving dynamics, but it's annoying because you can't rotate the tires, so the wear will happen a little bit quicker. The other thing is Porsche has the PDK transmission. Porsche or Porsche, depending on which one you drive. But the PDK transmission is in my opinion, the best automatic transmission that you can buy if you're an enthusiast, because the shifts are immediate. It really makes the car engaging. It's similar to a DSG in a Volkswagen, but when you get this on back roads, or you put it into manual mode here, which is you just do that by putting the shifter down here and bumping it over, and you can put it into manual and you can shift the PDK. I mean, it just has it's rubbery. It just has an incredible feel to it. If you're an enthusiast, you're going to really enjoy this transmission. I think the car drives best in sport mode, and the mechanic who I just took it to with my first oil change, I went to Exotic Motor Works in Scottsdale, Arizona. That place is excellent for getting your Porsche service. That's what they specialize in. He was saying that the car actually likes to, every once in a while, to be driven hard and be driven day after day. So if you get to an exit ramp after the engine is all warmed up, floor it, unleash it. It's really good for the valves to clean everything out. They call it an Italian tune-up. He said these cars love to be driven, and that's when they run best. He says the ones that are driven by grandmas around town and not really driven hard are actually the ones that end up having problems. He says the rental cars are actually the cleanest ones that have come into the shop when they have to pull the engine out or things like that. Now, the big issue with Porsche Macans, and most of them suffer this, I think the 2019 and newer are better with this, but most of them suffer from a leak in the timing change cover, and you really can't see that unless you're underneath the car. And underneath the car, you also have to remove a big, I don't know what the panel's made out of. It's almost like a durable felt is the best way I can describe it. But basically, that's under there. probably partially for aerodynamics and keeping the under part of the car protected. The other part of it is so it doesn't drip oil on your beautiful garage floor. So that can be an issue, and the only way to fix that is a full engine out repair. My understanding is this can cost $6,000 to $9,000, so very expensive. The technician at Exotic Motor Works, he said mine looks fine. He said it looks better than most that come in. He said some are really bad. He said this one's fine. He said you shouldn't have any issues with it till you get up to maybe 140 or 150,000 miles. So we're good there. The best way to check that is if you can have a technician take pictures for you to show that your car, the one you're looking to buy, is okay. Now, an oil change in this thing costs $450 from Porsche. I got it for $320. It takes 9 quarts of oil to put in this thing, so they are really hungry when it comes to putting oil in them, and it's just very expensive. So these are all things, including PDK fluid. There's all these things, PDK, and then also the rest of the car is great. The air suspension is great, but the one other issue is the upper control arm bushings are almost cracked. So those are going to need to be replaced, and that's probably a $400 to $500 job for them to replace those as well. And they said almost every Macan that comes in and Audi Q5 that comes in, it's the same issue. So these are weak points of the car that over time are going to fail, especially if you're looking to buy a higher mileage Porsche Macan. But other than that, the car is really fun to drive. So I'll put it into manual mode like I mentioned earlier, and this will let you run the gears out. Like, it'll truly let you shift whenever you want to. I think it'll hit red line, but it's just a really durable car and something you're gonna wanna drive and use every day. It doesn't have to be a garage queen. These things are not gonna... It just, I mean, and then the pops when you let off. It just sounds really good. It truly is a fun and engaging SUV to drive. And then some of the previous items that I showed you earlier are going to enhance that even further within the car. So if you guys have any questions about the Porsche Macan or things you can look for, let me know in the comments below. But if you want to see the first upgrade that I did on my Porsche Macan, you're going to want to click this video right here that shows you that. We did some air intake upgrades, and eventually we're going to do a dyno test, but click this video right here so you can check out that process.